Hey, everybody, welcome to another installment of Coast to Coast, where this time we're going to go up the coast from Florida and visit Raleigh, North Carolina with Paul Huber with Huber Real Estate, correct?
That's right. How you doing there, Tim?
Pretty good. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Not a problem. So tell us, I've never been to Raleigh. And I'm probably even saying it wrong because that's usually what I do with cities I've never been to.
Raleigh, yes.
Raleigh.
You got you're kind of rolling the L, the E at the end there, but yeah, Raleigh, North Carolina. Yes, sir.
Raleigh. I learn new things.
Yes, sir. Every day.
What is it like there? What's it like living in Raleigh?
Raleigh's it's a great place. I'm actually a Florida transplant myself, as there are a lot of us up here. It's definitely become a major destination for our Floridians. I grew up in South Florida. I've been here about 9 years now. And what drew me to Raleigh was the growth that I saw coming. And so we moved here in 2013. And I just saw the trajectory of like what was happening here. It reminded me a lot of what I saw in South Florida, growing up there, and came here because I wanted seasons, and I just wanted I don't want to say it's a slower pace, but it is a little bit slower pace. You kind of have that southern charm. Our location is fantastic. We're right in the middle of the state, so it's easy to travel. We're 2 to 2.5 hours to the beaches, about 3 hours to the mountains. So for weekend trips, it's really easy to get to either place. It's a fastly growing area in general. Sprawl is definitely happening here, and it's a great place to live, to raise kids, to adventure outdoors. It's a great place. We really enjoy it.
So tell us more about these seasons. In Florida, we don't know what they are because we have our summer season and hurricane season. So what are these seasons you speak of?
So we truly have 4 seasons, and I like to tell people, if you don't like the weather, just wait, because it's about to change. As soon as you get sick of it, it's going to change. So, we have it gets hot in the summer. For instance, today is our first day. It's going to be like 97 degrees, and it can get humid. So not as humid and as consistent as like South Florida weather, or even Orlando, being in the middle of the state. You guys don't get that, ocean breeze so much. So, it can get sticky here in the summer for sure. So right around now, from June through about August, it's the hot season. September starts to cool down. We have a gorgeous fall. The colors are just amazing in fall. My favorite time of year for sure, because it is starting to cool down. Kind of get that feel of like the holidays are coming and stuff. So fall weather, leaf looking season. I know a lot of Floridians come up for into the North Carolina mountains, just for the leaf looking season. So that's just beautiful. Winter, it's since I've been here, it's gotten a lot warmer in the winter. It used to get very cold by my standards coming from Florida, but December, January, now the last 2 years, we've had 70s throughout most of December before it got, into our freezing range overnight, January, February, March. That's really our coldest part of the season. We get about 2 snowfalls a year, 2 or 3 maybe. The whole place shuts down. If you get a half an inch of snow, the whole place just shuts down. So I think we get about 7 inches a year as an average snowfall. So love that. That's a lot of fun. And then spring is just gorgeous too. It's like right on the heels of fall, just different colors. Everything is coming back. Lots of different green hues and beautiful pinks and reds and whites, and it's just gorgeous in spring. The one thing they don't tell you about though is the pollination. I've never seen anything like this, Tim. It's crazy. Like every year, we had about 2 weeks of pollen this year, and it's like everything is coated in yellow. So it's for allergies, not great at all. But I'd say that's the one bad thing is the pollination season.
Yeah, that's definitely going to do good with my allergies.
No.
So tell me, what do you like to do for fun? What's fun around there? Something that we might not know about just from looking on the internet.
Well, I'm still learning. That's the fun part of the area is that there's so much to do here. Just between just amazing restaurants. I'm definitely a foodie. Love to go out and eat. There's tons of museums around town, around all the towns. We have zoos. We have lots of outdoor activities. So whether it's being on the greenways, tons of greenways for biking and running. We have a couple of rivers right around Raleigh. I like going out to the Haw River. That's a little bit to the west of us. We have a couple of lakes over there, Jordan and Harris Lake, for all boating activities. So fishing as well. Hunting is big. So lots of hunting during the right seasons. We like to get out, when we can and get out on the lakes with our SUPs, stand-up paddle boards, and then again, travel. There's so much to do around the state, whether it's exploring the beautiful North Carolina beaches, from Oak Island to the south, all the way up to like Nags Head and the Outer Banks, which are just beautiful. Or opposite end of the state, heading over to Boone and Banner Elk and hitting the ski slopes, or kind of heading down towards Asheville and Waynesville and places outside of Charlotte. Just all sorts of stuff to do outdoors. So that's really what we try to do in between work is get out and enjoy the outdoors.
Okay, so basically you're saying it's a great area to live if you enjoy the outdoors.
Well, yes, it certainly is. But, if you're an indoor type of person too, again, museums, fine arts, lots of entertainment. We have professional hockey, the Hurricanes, in the playoffs right now. So that's good. Soccer is really big here. Tennis is they're supposed to be building a huge tennis complex in the Durham area in the next couple of years. So that's going to become a destination. But yeah, there's definitely lots to do if you like indoor stuff too.
Okay. So, and I know you mentioned about some of the foodie stuff.
Mhm.
So what's some of your favorite food?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I personally, I love wings, and there's lots of great wing places. But I also like things. I mean, there's some really great Peruvian places, really killer Indian food, curry. Love curry. So we see a lot of that. I have a favorite German restaurant in Durham that we love to go to, and so we have such a diverse population. So, being as diverse as we are, we're definitely a destination for people from around the world. So because of that, we see a lot of different restaurants. So, from the very high end to the very affordable, whether you like, hot dogs or, 36-hour braised, meats, there's, something for everyone.
Well, that's definitely good. I'm kind of excited because I do like wings as well.
Yes.
So sounds like a great place to live with lots of options. What about the real estate? What are your median sales prices? How's that market going?
Real estate is absolutely insane here. It's been, again, what's driving our market is we have so many people. We have, I think there's something like 16 universities in the area. The biggest ones, of course, being University of North Carolina, NC State, Duke, are obviously the top three here. But then you have a lot of smaller universities as well. We have the Research Triangle Park, which is very much tech driven. That's where a lot of the tech sectors are. So that's bringing in companies like Apple, Amazon, Google, bringing multi-billion-dollar investments into our area. It's called the Triangle. So there's kind of a geographic triangle between Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill. And that's really they're actually starting to call us the Silicon Triangle because we're getting so many people coming from Silicon Valley. When you look at the tech sectors around the country, you have the Bay Area of California, Austin, Texas, Seattle, Washington, and we're not far behind all of those. And when you look at cost of living in those areas comparatively to ours, that's what's made our area so desirable for these companies to bring their workforce here. So because of that, tech is one of the bigger sectors. We also have a huge pharmaceutical presence all around the triangle. So just those two things, the tech and the pharmaceutical, followed by like medical, with Duke University and Duke Hospital, that's really driving people to come to our area, which in turn has really driven prices up. We have, again, that mass exodus out of California coming this way, sprinkling money all over the place. A lot of corporate America buying up properties left and right. So I know just in our area alone, over the last year, we've seen a 38% rise in the average sales price. So currently, if we're talking about just Raleigh, the median sales price is around $440,000, and the average sale price is around $550,000. Now that's with like 6 days on market, and the average list price to sales price ratio is about 7% above list price as an average for the entire area. Now, as we get into some of the suburbs like Cary, Apex, Morrisville, which is just to the west of Raleigh proper and just to the south of Durham, the prices dramatically rise for a median of like $550,000 and an average of $660,000. And currently, days on market is also 6 days on the market, and the list price to sales price ratio is a little bit higher at about 8%. Now, of course, that's an average. Some of the neighborhoods, when we look at a hyper local neighborhood statistics, it really jumps up to more like 11 to 14% above asking price. And I've seen homes sell at 23, 25% above asking price at a pretty substantial, prices. Homes going up for, 700,000 and selling for 950, or coming up at 900 and selling for 1.1 million. Happening all the time here now. So it's a really interesting market, and it's just been like this the last few years, especially.
Wow, it definitely sounds like it's taking off there. I'm sure it's being driven there a lot with the becoming a tech corridor. That's for sure. So what about short-term rentals? Do you guys have any of those in the area?
Almost non-existent. It's interesting you asked me about that. I just had a client moving back here yesterday, was asking about it, and I just ran those numbers, and there's literally zero on the market. I recommended looking at like Airbnb situations, and I was even shocked at like what the prices are for the Airbnbs, and looking at them myself, that they were pretty much booked out, throughout the summer. So not a whole bunch of them. The laws in Raleigh were unfavorable to Airbnbs in recent years, and they've kind of changed their thinking on that and their process for that. So it is allowed as much as I know now, and seems to be a viable option for folks. So it's an interesting market for sure.
What about investment? Do you see a lot of real estate investment going on in your area?
Oh, big time. Yeah. I mean, it depends on flips, not so much. We have, because of the brain pool that we have here. It's we don't see a lot of foreclosures in the area. Even pre-pandemic, it was like 1% of our market was foreclosures. If we were to go back in time 5 years, yeah, there was some opportunity for investors to do some flips. But nowadays, just don't see very many of them at all. I'm definitely more of the thinking of buy and hold. And that's what I see these conglomerates and hedge funds coming in, especially from the Northeast or the West Coast, are looking at our area. Maybe it's a hedge against inflation. Maybe it's a hedge against the down stock market. But they're gobbling up properties. And I'm often surprised at what I see them paying for the properties, which makes me feel really good about the long-term economic forecast for the area, that if they're looking at this area that they're willing to pay and hold on to these properties and rent them out, then things are probably looking pretty good. I think we're pretty well insulated from any kind of downturns.
Well, it's definitely a good way to look at it. If investors and hedge funds and everyone's looking to buy in a place, real estate's probably a good investment in this kind of wonky economy that we're in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The downside to that is the end user, the owner occupants, especially those that have lived here for a long time. It feels like, and in a lot of cases they are, getting squeezed out of the market. So, that's the downside to this type of market, especially when we have, super low inventory of like 2 weeks of inventory, where 5 months is a balanced market. We're in the truest seller's market you could ever see.
Yeah, that's for sure. So before we end, is there anything else you'd like to share about your area that we have not covered today?
It's a great area. Just absolutely, I love it. Anyone considering making a move, I'm here to help. And, we see a lot more people coming in than I do leaving. In fact, we have about 82 people a day moving to the greater Raleigh area. We're one of the fastest growing metros in the area for all of the reasons that we just went over. It's a great place to live, work, and play. I can't say enough about it. I always enjoy, we travel a lot, and I always enjoy coming home. And, it's not like, oh, I got to go back home. It's, every time I'm flying in or, coming back and looking down, it's always, you get that feeling of like, it's just very homey. So I really love that aspect of it.
Well, definitely. Thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. And if ever anyone's techie and wants to move up to Raleigh, North Carolina, we got you the perfect realtor for the job.
Thank you, Tim.
Not a problem. Talk to y'all later.